Dr. N. My name is Nur Fatiha binti Muhammad Isa. My number matric is E25A3650. Today, my group, we want to present our 4 outcrop we get and we find around the Jelly campus. Firstly, I want to present our introduction. This task involves identifying and studying 4 geological outcrop around the Jelly campus as part of a basic mapping exercise. The objective was to observe and record the key physical characteristics of the rocks, including color, hardness, whether the rock is soft or hard, and the type of weathering process that affect it. By carrying out this observation, we were able to better understand how different rocks respond to environmental conditions and how weathering rocks affect their structure. This activity also helped us improve our field skills such as carefully observation, accurate recording, and basic geological interpretation, which are essential for understanding the geological background of the study area.
My name is Nufitra binti Abdullah. My matric number is E25A3690. Today, I will present our outcrop observation located at Kampung Gemang Lama, Air Lanas, Kelantan, near the Faculty of Earth Science or FSP. The outcrop is exposed along a roadside slope, which allow a clear observation of the soil profile. The coordinate recorded for the outcrop location are latitude 5.747277 degrees and longitude 101.86893 degrees. The observation was conducted on 18 April 2026 10:08 in the morning. The estimate height of the outcrop is about 2 meters based on the human skull in the image. For the surface layer, the top part is dark brown in color and covered with vegetation. This layer contains organic matter and plate roots, indicating activity, biological process, and nutrient-rich soil. Next, the middle layer shows brown to yellowish colors with a finer texture. This layer mainly consists of seed and clay material that were formed through the withering of the parent rock. At the lower part of the outcrop, coarser materials such as sand and gravel can be observed. The particles are large and less withered compared to the upper layer. In terms of hardness, the top layer is loose. The middle layer is moderately firm, while the lower layer is coarse and less compact. The main withering process observed in this outcrop is chemical withering, which commonly occurs in tropical climates with high temperature and heavy rainfall. So, in conclusion, this outcrop represents a tropical reduced soil profile with clear change in color, texture, and material composition from the top layer to the bottom layer.
My name is Putra Aisha binti Husaini Failuz and my matric number is E25A3681. I would like to present the drawing outcrop observed at UMK. The observation was conducted at Air Lanas, Kelantan, Malaysia, especially at Kampung Gemang Lama, Air Lanas, Kelantan 17700, Malaysia. The GPS coordinate are latitude 5.746303 and longitude 101.867151. The field observation was carried out on the 13th of April 2026 at 9:50 in the morning. The outcrop is located along a roadside slope near FSP and face an open area which allow a clear observation of the slope profile and the weathering material. Based on the human scale in the image, the height of the outcrop is estimated to be 2 meters. At the surface or outer layers, the outcrop is covered with dense vegetation such as scrub and small plants. This happens because the top layer contains nutrients, organic matters, and moisture that support plant growth. The inner materials appear reddish-brown in color. The color indicates the presence of iron oxides from due to chemical weathering over a long period of time. In terms of hardness, the material is soft to moderately firm. This suggests that the original rock has undergone weathering and gradually transformed into residual soil. The dominant process occurring in this outcrop is chemical weathering. In tropical regions like Malaysia, high temperature and heavy rainfall speed up the weathering process and cause the rock to break down faster. Besides that, no clear layering or beading can be observed on the outcrop. Therefore, the outcrop is interpreted as having a messy structure. The outer and inner parts also show obvious differences. The outer layers support vegetations because it is rich in nutrients and moisture, while the inner part mainly consists of weathering materials. In conclusion, this outcrop mainly consists of reddish residual soil from the intense chemical weathering in tropical environment. The observation of this outcrop helped us understand the effect of weathering processes on rock material. Thank you, that's all.
Assalamualaikum and selamat sejahtera. My name is Muhammad Akid Nasri bin Yusni Elias Yusri. My matric number is E25A3671. So today I will present about our Outcrop observation report conducted at UMK Ayer Lanas, Kelantan. So about this outcrop, is located along the road leading to Outcrop, UMK besides the library. The image on the left show the actual outcrop, while the sketch on the right represent the general structure and appearance of the rock's exposure. So, based on the human figure used as a scale reference, the outcrop is estimated to be about 1.5 meter height. From the observations, the rock surface appears uneven, weathered, and partly covered by grass and small vegetations. This indicates that the outcrop has been exposed to the environmental condition for a long period. The physical characteristic of the outcrops. The first one is the outer surface of the rock is weathered and slightly fractured due to exposure to rainfall, sunlight, and biological activity. Next, the inner material appears more compact and harder to the outer layer. The rock's color range from the gray to light brown, which may indicate mineral alternation and oxidation process occurring within the rocks. The difference between the outer and inner layer show that weathering mainly affects the exposed surface of the outcrop. For the third slide is observation of the outcrops. So for the hardness, the outcrop is moderately hard overall. However, the outer portion is weaker and more friable because it has been exposed to continuous weathering process for a long period. For the weathering process, the outcrop undergoes both biological and chemical weathering. Plant roots penetrate cracks in the rock and cause physical breakdown, while rainwater reacts with minerals in the rock, leading to oxidation and weakening of the material. And for the structure, No visible layering, beading, or foliation can be observed from the outcrop. Therefore, the rock mass is interpreted to possess a massive structure. For the outer and versus inner difference, the outer layer is more weathered, loose, and directly exposed to environmental agents such as rainwater and vegetation growth. In contrast, the inner material is relatively more intact, compact, and structurally stronger. The inner section also displays a slightly different colorations due to the chemical oxidations occurring within the rock mass. In conclusions, the rock outcrop at UMK Ayalanas is moderately hard, weathered rocks with massive structure. The outcrop is undergoing continuous
Assalamualaikum and
transformations
salam sejahtera.
due to
My name is
biological,
Putra
chemical,
Haris Iskandar bin
weathering
Muhammad Nazmi.
process.
My
Thank
matrix
you.
number is E25A3695. I want to share about last outcrop that my group has observed. Our outcrop observed located at Airlanas, Kelantan 17700 Malaysia. Latitude of outcrop is 5.744827 and longitude is 101.871363. This observation is conducted on Monday, 13 April 2026 at 8:56 in the morning. For my part, I will be detailing my field observation of geological outcrop. First, to establish content recording location and scale. The outcrop is situated within the UMK campus area at Ailanas, Kelantan, specifically along the road that leads directly to the Outcrop UMK and is positioned next to the University Library. In terms of height, we meticulously estimate the outcrop to be approximately 1.8 meters, which is a suitable size for a close-up visual analysis. Next, looking at the surface and inner material, the outer surface is a complex, dynamic interface that is partially covered with sparse native vegetation including small shrubs and grasses. The inner material, which you can see deeper within the mass, reveals a distinct geological process. The sparse vegetation at the surface is actually indicating the initial phase of a larger transformation, leading to the formation of a more resilient core. In terms of hardness and structure, the material shows clear variation in hardness. The outer layer is increasingly loose and friable, while the inner materials remain moderately hard, retaining substantial structural integrity. A key observation across the entire profile is the complete absence of distinct layering, bedding, or foliation. This lack of primary structure means we classify the formation as a massive structure, which makes its disintegration at the surface even more pronounced. The outcrop is subject to a powerful combination of weathering processes. First, biological weathering is driven by deep root penetration from the surface vegetation, physically breaking down the rock mass. Simultaneously, significant rainwater infiltration facilitates in situ chemical oxidation, which leads to the complete chemical alteration of the mineral constituents within the complete mass. The outer versus inner difference is pronounced. The outer layer, defined by native vegetation and direct, unprotected exposure to the elements, has a loose and friable texture. In contrast, the protected inner core is moderately hard, retains a higher level of structural integrity, and exhibits a distinctive light brown color due to that widespread in situ chemical oxidation. In summary, this outcrop is a vital site showcasing a full geological transition. It consists of a complex mix of weathered rock materials that is undergoing a continuous dynamic transformation. This process is driven by the powerful combined effect of sustained biological weathering from plant activity and pervasive, ongoing chemical weathering by water, altering the rock's mineralogy and structure over time.
Next, I want to talk about our discussion. The four outcrop observed show different stages and characteristics of weathering process in a tropical environment. Outcrop 1 represents a tropical with soil profile with change in texture and composition from the top layer to the bottom layer, indicating various degrees of weathering. Outcrop 2 mainly consists of reddish residual soil from true intense chemical weathering, where high temperature and rainfall accelerate mineral decomposition and oxidation process. Meanwhile, outcrop 3 and 4 consist of weathered rock material undergoing transition due to the combined effect of biological and chemical weathering. Biological activities such as root penetration and microorganisms, together with chemical reaction involving water and minerals, contribute to the gradual breakdown of the rock into soil material. Overall, all outcrop demonstrate the strong influence of tropical weathering process on rock and soil formation. Lastly, I want to talk about conclusion. In conclusion, the basic mapping exercise at the Jelly campus successfully provide practical experience in identifying key rocks, characteristics, and understanding weathering process. The difference observed in color, hardness, and weathering pattern help in interpreting the geological condition of the study area. This activity not only improves field observation and recording skill, but also strengthens the understanding of how rocks respond to environmental factors, forming a solid foundation for future geological study and fieldwork. Thank you. That's all from our group.